Hello, scientists. Today we are talking about chemical reactions and how two different substances, when they come together, can have a reaction. We have done some where we just have mixtures. So when we stirred the water into, or the sugar into the water, we created a solution there. We're just mixing it together. However, we can still separate out. We could let the water evaporate and that sugar would still be left behind. It's not going to evaporate too. So today, when we're talking about chemical reactions, it's talking about changing the structure, the makeup of whatever substance we are working with. And so, today's lab is called What's My Weight? I'm not going to tell you my weight. We're going to be talking about weight of different mixtures. So in this cup, I have lemon juice. And in this cup, I have baking soda. Oop, we're going to do this one second. So this one, I have baking soda and vinegar. Yes, vinegar again. And baking soda, we used that last time too. So the first thing that I'm going to do is find the weight of everything before we get started. So I have to very carefully put my cups in there. I'm going to seal my baggie very carefully. And if you remember last time, when we were, our experiment last time, we looked at what things showed that a chemical reaction took place. So we had bubbling and fizzing, temperature change. Those were our two big ones that showed, oh, a reaction is taking place. So I'm going to weigh this. Let me make sure I'm going to set these guys on here before. Okay, 10, 20. Oop, too high. So it's going to be 40. We'll go to 45. Too heavy. 43. 41. 0.5 is a little too heavy. 41. Little too heavy. Maybe I'll just do 41. Spot on. So we have 41 grams for our baking soda and sugar weight before, our baking soda and vinegar, sorry. 41 grams. And so in here, I'm gonna I'm gonna spill the contents in there and I'm gonna record any observations that happen. So we've got the two of them. I'm gonna dump them into the bag and you can see everything's bubbling and fizzing in there. The baking soda and that vinegar are having a reaction. Ooh, it's really cold too, if you could feel the temperature. It's very cold. And what do you notice about the bag? It's poofing up, right? So some gases were released. That's another sign that we had a chemical reaction. And so then I'm gonna put that in my observations. Bubbling. Bag inflated. Ooh, cold. When I touched it. And so now we're gonna weigh it before. What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think that my weight is gonna change because there was a reaction? Do you think my weight's gonna stay the same? Let's see. So if I set it on my scale, and it's gonna be a little harder, you should notice I kept it on 41. Maybe I had some of the bag hanging off last time, hopefully not. And it is still getting there, but it is still 41 grams. So even though there was a chemical reaction in there, because we were able to trap in all the gases, my weight stayed the same. If I were to open this up and let the gases release and then reseal it, then I would have less matter in there. But my matter, even though it was converted into a gas form, the mass stayed the same. Okay, we've got two more to try like that. Our next one is baking soda and lemon juice. So I am gonna put my cups in here and baking soda. I'm gonna seal my bag. And we are going to weigh it without spilling it, Miss Collins. Over here. Okay, so too heavy. All right. Oh wait, no, I need to go backwards. 30. Looks like it's 35. Sorry, 35.1 grams. And my bag is hanging off a little, so there might be a little bit of an error there at the end. Not much to be done about that. And then let's go ahead and spill our cups and see what happens. I'm just gonna dump them over into the corner. Ew. And it's bubbling and fizzing. There you go. And then it's cold to the touch, so our temperature changed. It's bubbling, it's fizzing. It also looks kind of gross. And then what do you notice is happening with our bag? There's air in there. That wasn't quite how it was before. So that chemical reaction put off gases and my bag puffed up. So we could say we have like yellow fizzing, obviously with lemon juice. This one was white. We have bubbling. It's yellow. The bag inflated. And again, this one was cold. So when we did the yeast in our last video, it was hotter. This one's colder. So let's go ahead and set it on here. And I left it alone. And it's settling at the same mass. So again, just because there was a chemical reaction, that doesn't mean our mass changes. Because I trapped the gases in there by sealing the bag, my mass stayed the same. Even when this chemical reaction took place, my matter didn't just disappear. It stays in the bag because I all have it sealed. Now, if it wasn't in the bag, the gases would escape, and then our gases wouldn't be counted towards our overall mass. So that would change it. Okie dokie, we've got one more. We have an Alka-Seltzer Tablet. Ooh, whoopsies, Butterfingers. And these guys are for like upset tummies. They come in little packages like this, but yeah. So then it's made up of, I believe, citric acid. Contains, yeah, citric acid, aspirin, and sodium bicarbonate. So made up of different materials. We're gonna put it with just some water. We've got water in this cup. Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna seal my bag. Not spill it. Okay, I'm gonna put it on here. Ooh, that's too heavy. Ooh, that's closer. Ooh. Pretty close. Okay, I would say 25 5/10. So we are doing 25.5 grams. And now we are going to dump our cups over, see what happens to our bag. So I'm gonna put my tablet down the corner and that. And right away you can see it's bubbling, it's fizzing with that little tablet. And it's very cold to the touch, so cold again. Our temperature changed. You can see the fizzing and bubbling in there. My bag is inflating a little bit. I think it inflated the most with the last one. And that's just with water. It's because they have those, what the Alka-Seltzer tablet is made up of. And my bag is inflating. Little tablet's still in there. You can see it breaking down. But my bag's poofing up. Gonna help it break down a little. Okay, and it is very cold to the touch. Actually, this one might be getting cooler. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down. It bubbled. White. Bag inflated. And it's cold. So the bag inflating, that's the gases that are being released when the liquid and the solid is combining and having that chemical reaction. Okay, so now if I set it on my little guy, it is the same. So we get 25 and 5/10 grams again. Okay, so our big takeaways, you are gonna have a graph to fill in and a couple questions to answer. And our big takeaway should be, well, let's go ahead and fill in the graph together. So I'm gonna take a picture of so I'm gonna have to move our chart because I gotta move it up. So our baking soda and vinegar was 41 grams before and after, 35 and 1/10 gram, and then 25 and 5/10 gram. Okay. So now we are going to create a chart, double bar graph that displays your results. Be sure to include a title, key, and specific labels for each axis. So we need to decide, we're probably, we could count up by maybe tens, because I'd have 10 grams here, 20 grams, 30 grams, 40 grams, and then that would be 50, so I have enough. And so my first bar graph, I could do a couple different colors. We could do purple for our baking soda. And it was baking soda and vinegar. Look how poofed up this one is. Yeah, baking soda, vinegar. And so when we had our baking soda before, we were at 41 grams. So then I would just draw that up, and I'm gonna be a little bit above the line. And this can be before, I'm just gonna label it. And then after, it stayed the same. Our baggie is all poofed up, but it's the same. You guys see this chart? Yep, you can. Okay, my next one was 35 and 1/10 grams. So my key, which I have over here, might not be able to see, is gonna be green. And I'm gonna go to 35 and a little bit over. And this is my lemon juice and baking soda. So this is before the chemical reaction, and it stayed the same. Okay, so this is lemon. And our last one was the Alka-Seltzer. And this one was 25.5 or 25 and 5/10. And it stayed the same. So the gases that were released and we trapped in that bag made our mass stay the same. Okay, so you're gonna have a couple questions after this. What patterns do you notice in this graph? What does your graph tell you about the weight of a mixture before and after a chemical reaction takes place? All right, go ahead and answer those questions right now.